Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, and today I am going to be... Oh wait, I'm not even ready for the video. Okay, now we're ready. So today we're gonna be baking a gigantic pumpkin flavored pumpkin cake. So I've got all our ingredients except for the fondant, which we're gonna make a mid-baking video trip to Michael's for, but let's just get right to it. So we're back in my kitchen, and you're going to need a bunch of things for this pumpkin cake because it's a pumpkin flavored pumpkin cake. Okay, so I believe we're ready to start baking. Iris is here to help me, obviously. So now that we're ready to start baking, I'm going to start with my wet ingredients. So 4 eggs. So we're gonna add 1 2/3 of sugar. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. Okay, I'm gonna count that as 2 right there. It's spice. It doesn't really matter if it's a little bit more, right? And we're gonna add a little more cinnamon anyway from the pumpkin pie spice. I think it actually said you use nutmeg, but I don't have nutmeg. So we're using pumpkin pie spice. And it's gonna have pumpkin in it anyway, so we're gonna add our baking powder. That's 2 tablespoons as well. We're also gonna add a teaspoon of baking soda. It also calls for a cup of oil. I think I'm gonna add half a cup and see how that does for me. Just seems like a hell of a lot of oil. Like a cup of oil? Like a whole cup of this? Oh boy. We wouldn't have a cake without flour, so there's 1 and there's 2. So lastly, what we need for our pumpkin cake, obviously, is some pure pumpkin. So it calls for 15 ounces of this. I looked that up, that's about 1.5 cups. So I've used pure pumpkin before, but not in any kind of cake. I've made brownies out of pure pumpkin before, which is surprisingly good. I should actually do a video just for that recipe, but I love the smell of pure pumpkin too. It just smells so good. Oh, it's also low in calories, so I should definitely find more ways to use pure pumpkin in my baking and my cooking. Okay, so now that we have all our ingredients in the bowl here, we may as well mix. Hopefully it's enough. I think there's a reason they tell you to do the wet ingredients first. Oh well, doesn't matter. It's all going in the same cake. Smells good though. Pumpkin cinnamony goodness. So this will probably make 1 bundt cake. I'm probably gonna have to repeat the whole recipe to make another one, but that's okay.
We'll just make the second one while the other one's baking, and then while that one's baking, we'll put away our things and clean up, and then we'll go get the fondant, and then it'll be cool time, and then we'll decorate, so.
Okay. I turned off the air conditioning to make this video, so it wouldn't have that like fan air conditioning noise in the background, and oh my god. Okay, so now that our cake is all mixed up, we can use our new bundt pan, and I'm just using the spray. You can use butter, you can use whatever non-stick release that you use. I'm just using the spray for convenience. Okay, so here is our mixture in the pan. As you can see, it kind of fills up almost to the top. I guess there's some room left for the cake to rise while it's in the oven. So we're gonna do 25 minutes at 350 degrees. Alrighty, so now we're just gonna put our cake mixture into the oven here. I'm gonna check in on it at the 25-minute mark, and we'll see how it does. So now that our cake is in the oven, this is usually the time that I would clean up, but we're making a gigantic pumpkin cake. So let's get right back to it.
I love that it's orange because of the pumpkin.
Okay, so our first cake is ready. We're just going to pull it out of the oven now. It looks pretty good. So our first cake is done. I'm gonna head out and get that fondant. Cue the clip.
Fondant.
Before Michael's closes, and then I'm gonna come back. We're gonna put in our second cake. We're gonna make the icing while that one's baking, and then we're gonna let them cool. So I just got back home from Michael's. I decided to just get a big white pack and then color it with the orange food coloring. I did get green for the stem and black. I figured we could put some eyes on our pumpkin and make it a jack-o'-lantern. So our first one came out pretty perfect. It actually looks like a donut, which is kind of cool, which kind of gives me ideas for future videos, but yeah. Okay, so for our cakes, I'm just gonna be making a basic icing out of unsalted butter, icing sugar, and vanilla, of course. So, like I said, a half cup of butter, a teaspoon of vanilla, and then some sifted icing sugar. Basically, you just mush it around so that the icing sugar blends with the butter. Ideally, your butter is softer than mine, but not liquidous. Okay, so I've got both of our cakes here. Yay. They look delicious, and this one actually looks a tad bit bigger than this one. I guess I should have cooked this one a little longer, I think, because this one definitely has more integrity, so it's definitely going to be the bottom. Okay, so first we're going to make the transfer, and then we're going to ice. So, pretty even, I think. I am gonna shave it a bit just so it's like more angular and more of like a pumpkin when I put on the fondant. We're finally ready to start icing. So, I've never actually used one of these before. Oh, it's actually so fun. Okay, so our cake is turning out pretty good. I just kept going over it and like glazing it with the icing, and now I think we're gonna just set this aside and work on our fondant. So for the fondant colors, I got white and black and green, but I only got white so I could use it with the orange food coloring for the pumpkin. They didn't have a big pack of orange, they just had white, so and I knew I would need a bigger pack to cover that whole cake. So like I said before, I've never ever worked with fondant. All I know is like you knead it, roll it out, and put it on. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh my gosh, so it's quite hard. It's kind of just like clay. This is just gonna take a while, I guess. So I found my rolling pin, and it's much easier with the rolling pin. So much easier. So basically, I'm just rolling it out to the thinnest point that I can. This stuff is really workable and it's really stretchable. So I've been just kind of like kneading it outward, and that's been working. The layer went on pretty nicely, better than I expected, and I figure if I take these extra pieces off the bottom and re-roll it, I can put it in the spots that are kind of patchy. So luckily, like I said, this stuff is really stretchy, so it almost covered the whole cake. 2 cakes. Almost. So, and it doesn't matter if it's like a little lumpy or anything like that because it's a pumpkin, so it's gonna be imperfect anyways. Okay, so I rolled out another little strip of fondant here to cover the little patches, as you can see right here and right there. So I'm gonna put that on and then kind of smooth it out. So
I'm thinking we'll just paint the orange food coloring on top, and then it'll look nice and vibrant, and we won't have to get all our fingers all orangey mixing it with the fondant.
oh, it's like a mixture gel. But it works like paint, so that's kind of awesome. I didn't know it was a gel. So I did get a pretty good coating. I had to use the whole thing. Food coloring gel. Definitely recommend the gel, because then you can just paint your cake like a sculpture. Okay, so we are almost done our cake here, but we do have to make a stem. So I did get some green fondant, and I have this little cylinder aluminum foil stem that I made as the base. Oh, here is our pumpkin now. Okay, so here is our finished pumpkin cake. It turned out actually super cute. I'm pretty pleased with how that orange food coloring gel turned out. That's what gave it the shiny glaze over top. Like I said, I just wish I got 2 of them, but that's okay. Our pumpkin turned out so cute, actually, for a little cartoon pumpkin cake. So I hope you guys enjoyed this bake with me, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Otherwise, don't forget to smile, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys!